Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back to Crisco's Corner. You see here on the screen, retired Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. He was on TIMCAST IRL tonight. I'll leave a link in the description to the live webcam or webcast, I guess you call it. Yeah, Tim has, I don't need to promote Tim's channel, but he's got over 3 million subscribers between his channels and hundreds of millions of views, but I'm right in the process of selling my business, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do after I leave my business? And of course, you find work and such, but what are you going to do, the things that are important? And I was a little discouraged, I got to admit, the last 2 or 3 months. I'm trying like hell here on my channel with the equipment and the money that I have, and I'm making some ground, but I want not so much my voice to be heard, but the message. And the message is our constitutional republic is teetering on the edge. And it seems like an overwhelming task. I mean, you're fighting at least the majority of the House of Representatives. You're fighting half the Senate. You're fighting the President of the United States. All of Hollywood and entertainment, all of social media in Silicon Valley, all the universities, the vast majority of high schools. The forces railing against this republic they seem overwhelming. Overwhelming. And it gets discouraging, especially with the new House laws that are coming up about taking over the election process and redistricting, and it's a power grab that I've never seen before, at least in this country, ever. And how our rights are being just grabbed away from us, not even slowly anymore. The COVID-19 lockdowns, I think, was a test for a lot of authoritarian progressives and leftists to see how far the American people would be pushed. And we cooperated, unfortunately, against unlawful and unconstitutional lockdowns, our businesses, our homes, telling us who can be there, how many you could have people have at your daughter's wedding, one of your parents' funerals. It's unbelievable. And it's destroyed millions of lives. And I don't mean just the COVID and the virus itself, even though that was horrendous. Over 500,000 people dead. That is so tragic and so sad. It's one of those things in life that you just have to get through and move on. But I was pretty discouraged, I got to admit. But I listened to Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, retired, I believe. And I've heard of him lots of times on YouTube when he's given lectures and question and answers, usually a psychologist, with clueless progressives that think that they're 21 years old and they know everything about economics and how they're going to fix the world, as most young people do. I know I did. And he gave me the inspiration to carry on, to keep going, as small as this channel is, and the views that it does get, that you've got to continue pushing back. Because what's at stake? It's like somebody dying. You can never, ever bring them back. And our constitutional republic is hanging on the edge of a cliff. Unless we help, unless people out there wake up and see what's going on, in Congress, this is unbelievable power grab. And they say, well, John, in a couple of years, the Republicans will take over. They suck too. Well, you're right. They do suck. But I think the Republicans now, maybe Trump gave them the inspiration, whether you hate Trump or love him. I think the statement is still true. He gave them the inspiration to finally fight back. Even Mitch McConnell is starting to grow a spine. Now, granted, it's only a little tiny one, but we'll see if he can grow the rest of his spine. But I think the Democrats have overplayed their hand. Now, here's the problem. The average American is just trying to survive. Just trying to make it for himself, his family, trying to keep their job if they still have one. And the next couple of years is going to be very dark indeed. How do they say in Game of Thrones? Winter is coming. And there's going to be some dark times politically and economically and socially in the next year and a half. But we can't lose faith. And I'll tell you, this guy is so calm. He's so rational. He's so reasonable. He gave me faith again that maybe you just keep on pushing. There's a little paperweight my daughter gave me years ago that says, if you can read it, it says, if you're going through hell, keep going. And that's a quote by Winston Churchill, who saw some dark days at the beginning of World War II. And the odds are overwhelming. But Americans have always come, real constitutional republic Americans have always overcome huge odds. The odds of the American Revolution and many things that have happened over our life as a country, we've overcome. A vast majority of racism. We've brought up the standard of living for our own people and people around the world tenfold in the last half century. So he gave me inspiration to continue this channel. And as I sell my business and slowly clean it out, I'll be getting some equipment in the next few months, probably by the end of the summer, beginning of fall. Get a little bit better equipment and start to ramp up the channel. Now, my understanding from doing a lot of research on YouTube and online, asking people to subscribe constantly is a waste of time because you don't know me that well yet. And to ask you for a subscription when you've only seen me one or two times or at the beginning of a video is really pointless. What I'm asking for to help me out so I can continue this fight and maybe inspire other people to continue theirs as well or start one is to just push the like button. That's all. I'm not asking you to be on anybody's list to be a subscriber. Nothing. Just click the like button. And that will make all the difference in the world to small channels like myself. And help us get the message out. Because the next year, I think, is the closest we're going to get to losing the constitutional republic we have since the Civil War. I believe that sincerely and wholeheartedly. Since the Civil War, I've never seen us more divided. Between the leftists and the progressives pushing their agenda, I mean pushing all of it. We're only in the middle of March. President Biden's only been president for 2 months, and there's over 100,000 people now at the border. This is just 2 months, folks. What the hell's going to happen in the next 2 years? It looks bleak and it looks overwhelming. The things they're doing to tear down this country. We can't let them do it. We can't let them get away with it without a fight. And I think this is a fight worth fighting. And I think this is a fight worth definitely winning. Not just for us. I have a 2-year-old granddaughter. 40 years from now when she has children and she looks back and, my God, what about my grandpa? And what about all the people that were alive then that were adults that allowed this to happen to the greatest country in the world? They're going to be pissed, and rightfully so, that we let them down. We can't do that. We have to continue fighting and listening to Colonel West Gave me a lot of inspiration. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description. It's a couple hours long, but I think it's worth listening to. Tim Pool doesn't need any promotion from his channel from me, but I was really surprised and just delighted that they had Lieutenant Colonel West on. What a great man and what a great patriot. I think he's worth listening to, and I think he's inspirational. So I wanted to put that out there for my subscribers. This summer and fall, I'm going to be ramping up the channel a little bit, get some better equipment, maybe go out and do some vlogging. I'm not sure. We'll see. But the premise of this whole thing from this day forward is going to be the pushback and a literal fight against the progressives and the leftists. They're trying to destroy the country that the founders put together, the greatest experiment in government in the history of the world. It's worth saving. It's worth preserving. Until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.